Hey, this is Kevin Ward with MixCoach.com, and today I want to show you how to use the Expander Gate in the DigiDesign plugin suite. This plugin is pretty helpful when it comes to gating toms. What we have here is I've got the toms soloed, or one of the toms soloed. I'll solo this one. This is the high tom, and you can listen, or the medium tom. You can listen. Now, that's not a problem within itself. Sometimes I like to have a little leakage, but if you want to completely gate out the drums, or let's just say that you've got too much snare drum in there and you want to gate it out, the problem happens when you try to get this. Sometimes these two hits right here will open the gate open. What I want to show you today is a trick using the side, not the side chain, but the filter on this gate here to make it come open right. Okay, so I'm going to pull it open, the Expander Gate 3 in the DigiDesign suite. Now listen to the result of it. It's not very impressive, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. See, even these snare drums are open in it. So what I want to show you is how to use the side chain and these filters to really make it sing with that tom. Each tom has a fundamental frequency. This one, doom, is right in there, which is around 250. I just happen to know that because I have already mixed the song. So what I want to do, there's two ways to make the sidechain work for you. One thing is use the high and low pass filters, and I'll show you what to do. What we want to do is turn these on and then hit this little speaker button right here, and what that's going to let us do is listen to what this does to the sidechain. Okay, so listen. I'm going to put this in a loop so that we can hear it okay. You see how I'm filtering this out? You can see how this would come in handy if, say, a kick drum was opening a snare mic. You could just filter the lows out by running the high pass filter, and then the kick drum would be, it wouldn't open this because all the lows would be filtered out of the sidechain trigger. What I want to show you on the tom is how to find the fundamental frequency of the tom to actually key the gate open. Okay? Now, we could do the filters here, but what I want to do is this little notch here on both channels, and I want to set it to around 250, and I'll let you hear why I want to do that. Okay, I'm going to turn both of these off. Now keep in mind we're listening to the sidechain. Now I want to turn these on. Now see, we're accentuating the doom, that note, the fundamental frequency of that tom. Okay, so listen. And what I'm doing is on both highs and lows, I'm accentuating the fundamental frequency, which is 226 hertz or so, right around there. You don't have to be scientific about it, but you'll notice that it'll get noticeably louder. See, it's off now. I'm going to let you hear, and then I'm going to turn them on. And you see how the fundamental frequency is louder. Now what we're going to do is use that to our advantage. I'm going to not listen to this anymore. I know that these are accentuating the fundamental frequency. Now what I want to do is I want to set these things drastic. I want to set the threshold all the way up. I want to set the range all the way down. I want to set the ratio all the way up. And I'll show you why I'm doing these things drastically in a moment. So now we're going to listen. And you shouldn't hear anything coming through because the threshold is set all the way to 0, which means it would have to go over 0 to open the gate. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, now that I've got these set up, is I'm going to actually set these up to where they really are musical with the drum. So I'm just going to put this in a loop, and I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing here. First thing I'm going to do is pull the threshold down. Now see, it's not even opening when I hit the snare anymore. It's just hitting this frequency here. And I'm going to pull it down until these start to open it, and then I'll know I've got a good setting on the threshold. Okay, now this is set optimally for this drum. Now what I want to do is start backing these things off so that it sounds musical. I'm going to set the attack so that the attack is fast enough that the drum will open as soon as the drummer hits it. Okay, let's run the threshold back up there just a little bit so that the snare drums are not opening that. The attack evidently had something to do with it. Okay, now you see that we're getting the tom, but it's not holding long enough, so I'm going to set the release a little longer. And set the hold just a little longer. Okay, it's starting to sound a little musical now. Now what I want to do is decrease the range a little bit so that because you wouldn't want just the drums coming out of nowhere. I'm going to listen to a part of the track where there is no tom, there's just only snare. So now that's as effective as no gate right there. So I'm going to pull this down. Here comes a tom here, listen. Okay, sounds like this is opening the tom too, so let's set the threshold so that that doesn't open it. Set the threshold. And now see where the tom's opening. Okay, so this one is still trailing off because the gate is still open here. So what you can do is, I'll show you another trick on that on another video, where we can go through and actually use strip silence to clean this track up. So what we learned here was how to set the gate up so that the fundamental frequency of the tom would open the gate instead of just whatever's getting above the threshold. So I hope that helps. It's a lot more musical sound, and I can show you, like I said, in another couple of videos, a few more tricks to cleaning up tom tracks. So if you'd like more of these mixing resources and categorized tutorials, you can find them all at MixCoach.com. Thanks for watching.